and go to Internet Options. That's where you'll find the same settings that I went over in Safari on the Generals tab, General Preference. It's pretty much the same ones that you'll find here. You'll see security up there. You'll see privacy, content, connections, programs, advanced. Internet Explorer does have a private browsing setting. When you click on that, it will open up another browser, and in the address bar, it will let you know that you're in private browsing. One thing to remember that that's only for that session. If you close that browser down, or if you open up another Internet Explorer, you're going to be opening up a regular Internet Explorer. You specifically have to go into private browsing to get into it. It's not a setting that you can, or a keystroke or anything that you can turn on or turn off. But all that does is stop when I tell everyone to clear out the cache and the cookies and stuff like that. Basically, at a basic level, private browsing just stops all these websites from putting temporary files and cookies and stuff like that on your site. So you don't have to worry about that setting because they won't be installed. But again, like I said with the phishing attacks, just because you're in private browsing don't think that nothing can happen. Because as with everything, there's ways to get around the private browsing setting in Internet Explorer. Don't think that, oh cool, look at this, I can go into private browsing and websites won't be allowed to put anything on my computer and I can browse safely. That is not the case. It's just another security measure that you can do that'll cut down, let's say, 50% of what you got to put up with. But there's still going to be more out there that you got to put up with. Because with any security settings, that's the battle between security researchers and mail writers. It's a constant battle back and forth. They come up with something new, we figure out how it is, and we stop it. And they come up with something else to get around that stop. And it just leapfrogs and leapfrogs and goes on and on. And that's why it's always important to keep your Windows systems updated, especially Internet Explorer. It has an update setting in there that you can update it. Always make sure that you have a latest update, and the Microsoft Windows operating system has the latest updates in it. Because since Internet Explorer is embedded into Windows, it's one of the exceptions from all the other browsers. Because, like I said, because it is embedded into the operating system. I can remove it, but I don't particularly would recommend people trying to move it because it is a pain. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to mess up your whole system. But that's how integrated into the operating system it is. So you can't really talk about Internet Explorer and not talk about Windows. Because usually when Windows updates, and in that update, somewhere it'll have an update for Internet Explorer too. Almost every time that it updates every month. And for those of you that are interested, that's the second Tuesday of each month. They call it Update Tuesday. And there's a little joke that security people have. I don't know how many people out there have heard it, but we call the second Tuesday of every month is Windows Update. They call that Update Tuesday. We have a setting called Exploit Wednesday. So Microsoft sends out their updates on Tuesday, and virus fighters and stuff are reverse engineering the patches to find out what Microsoft fixed, so they know where to focus their efforts and finding new problems and stuff in those areas they fix. And that's why the security thing, saga, I call it, goes on and on and on. But, like I said, in the Internet Options, a lot of people on the Connections tab, again, this is getting into something different. If you notice, there's a lot more settings in Internet Explorer than there was in Safari or Opera. And again, a lot of these settings coincide with Windows because, again, like I said, this is embedded in Windows. So a lot of the things that you see in here are connected to Windows, where the other operating systems are just, the other browsers are just dealing with the browser. Like the settings in Safari, it's just dealing with Safari. It really doesn't care what the operating system it's on. That's where Internet Explorer differs quite a bit. But you can still, on programs, you can still set your default HTML editor, your email client, and what that does, if you want to, if you're on a web page and it has, if you're applying for a job and you see an email link on the web page to like send your resume here or send your application here, if you want to click on that email link and automatically open up, an email thing to send out, this is where you'd set that. In an email, they'll probably have Outlook Express up there, and you can say any email client you have in there. And that way, when you automatically click on our email link, that's what it'll automatically open and send out that. Internet meeting and calendar, we won't get into contact lists, we won't get into, that's the only thing that I wanted to mention there is the email link, because a lot of new people ask for that. How can I just click on an email link in a web page and just have that automatically open up Outlook? Well, that's one of the ways you can do that. Usually that's set by default. So, and on the General tab again, for setting the homepage, when Internet Explorer is installed, it automatically sets it to one of the Microsoft websites that checks your browser and checks your updates and stuff. But again, all my homepages are set to Google and all my browsers because I use that more than anything. But you can set your homepage here, and then you just click on Use Current, which means whatever you have written in the box there is what it'll set to your homepage. And privacy, again, it's another area that's in depth. I went over the private browsing, and this here just makes settings on the level of security of the site that you want to go to. It'll have a medium, high, block, basically turn everything off because I don't trust nobody. So it all depends on your level and what type of sites that you go to. And what else should we cover in Internet Explorer and keep it on a basic level still? Is there any questions in the chat room on Internet Explorer? We'll start out there first. IE with Windows 7, I don't have Windows 7 installed on any of my systems yet, and I probably won't have Windows 7 installed for a while. I'm not really sure about how IE interfaces with Windows 7. Until Windows 7 starts having a lot of security issues involved with it, or a lot of vulnerabilities coming out, that's probably when I'll install it and start keeping up with Windows 7. But Windows 7, along with Vista, has some pretty good things that have cut down on the security versus XP. Like they require digitally signed drivers now and a bunch of other things. Especially when you get into the 64-bit operating system and stuff like that. People got to remember a lot. The 64-bit operating systems can run 32-bit programs. So that's what I'm going to remember. Just because you have a 64-bit operating system doesn't mean you can't run the 32-bit programs no more. But I guess 10, I assume that IE will probably look the same as it does on Vista and XP and everything else. And the same settings, the Internet Options window will probably still look the same. As far as how it runs with Internet Explorer and why it crashes, that would take some troubleshooting because, like I said, Internet Explorer is heavily tied into the Windows operating system. So while Windows does, even if it's not bothering IE, if it's just messing around with some other program or doing something else, it could affect IE because they're so tightly integrated. Any other questions? Yeah, it crashes in Vista also. And it crashes in XP. There's really nothing different. It crashes in Windows 2000. IE, Internet Explorer has a habit of crashing pretty much no matter what operating system it's on.
Okay, friends, we're going to take a 15-minute break here. And then when we come back, our other host is going to talk about Firefox browser. Okay, so we're going to take a 15-minute break for a cup of coffee.
Alrighty.